Good afternoon, Panther Nation. I'm Dan Salter with Plymouth State Athletics.
And I'm Julianne Batista. I'm a senior here at Plymouth State, and I'm a graphic design major.
And we welcome you to PSU Live. We're live here on Facebook and YouTube. And our first guest this afternoon, as we welcome everyone for the spring semester, is Plymouth State University President Donald Burks. Don, thank you for joining us.
Great to be here, Dan.
For you, what are some of the biggest achievements at Plymouth State over the fall semester?
Well, we've had a lot of faculty that have been recognized for their individual achievements, as well as staff. But one of the exciting things for me is always the fact that we started our new first-year seminar for all our students who are coming in. That gives them the opportunity to work on a wicked problem with a bunch of other fellow classmates. And you get to know your classmates, but you also get to work on those problems that you've been thinking about for a long time. What might be a solution to that problem? So we worked on a whole set from the opioid crisis to actually things about climbing and athletics, just any idea that you might have that's how to solve a world problem, we worked on.
And what do you enjoy most about winter in New Hampshire?
There's so many things up here in winter. A lot of us like cross-country skiing. I love it myself. I picked it up when I was in Erie, and there's lots of places right from the university that you can cross-country ski. Another thing I really like is the skiing arrangement that the students make with the local ski areas. And I like the downhill skiing, and we've got one that's very close here, within 25 minutes, and I like to go up there. Went twice this weekend to go skiing. Another thing I've gotten to like is winter hiking. And the reason I like winter hiking is because it fills in a lot of those rough areas, and it's really smooth to be walking, and it's quiet. You just feel the snow crunching under your feet. So those are some of the things I like to do in wintertime.
Clusters Initiative, I know it's kind of a good change here at Plymouth State. A lot of people may not know what clusters is, so can you give a general overview of what the clusters model is bringing here to Plymouth State, and really when the full transition is expected to be in place?
Yes. Many of you, when you come here, are going to know what you want to study. You may not be sure of it, but you'll probably have an idea what you want to study. When you have a whole group of other students who aren't sure about what they're going to study. As you work through and you study for your major, you may want to make some changes, you may want to do some different things, but the critical thing I always think is, how does your major relate to all the other majors that are being studied out there? How do you understand how to work with others on problems and projects that cut across majors? How do you figure out how to work in teams? How do you build relationships, both in the classroom and outside the classroom? So clusters are about this idea called integrated education. The idea that you should have a major, but you should also build around it a skill set that allows you to follow your passion when you get out. So it's an idea or a concept that has what we call 4 tools. One's the first year seminar, which is the first thing students experience when they come in, all the way to an integrated capstone at the end. And we try to theme Gen Ed so that rather than just taking a course here and there and not understanding how the pieces fit together, you actually work with a group of students across different classes in a way that's integrated so you can see how the pieces fit together. And you also have an open lab that's often associated with it, which brings different classes together to work on a problem. Like we went up to towns in the northern part of New Hampshire and worked on how in the world those towns could be attractive to millennial students and how they could rebuild their businesses and economy, how they might market their products and what they're doing. We just did one with Castle in the Clouds, where they did a marketing program for it. So it's really fascinating kind of stuff that puts together lots of pieces that have tended over the time to be siloed.
So what are you looking forward here to, in the spring semester?
My favorite thing in spring is always to look forward to graduation. It's a great time, but my next favorite time is probably spring fling, because there's a lot happening on campus. There's a lot of students that come in from all over. We get together, we have a really big party for a weekend, and it's a lot of fun. So I also have to admit that by the time the end of the semester comes around, I am looking forward to spring and warming up and warm temperatures, and that's usually about time we have spring fling. So it's a time when the season changes from doing all the things we do in winter to doing all the things we're doing in summer.
All right, well, I'm also very excited for spring fling this semester. Thank you for talking with us today, President
It's been
Burks.
great to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you, President Burks.
Come back anytime.
Awesome. So moving forward, we're going to have plenty of other students join us, and I don't know if our next one's available. We're looking for about 10 other students to join us here. And what else do we have going on, Julianne? Kind of today, talking with a bunch of students. For you, how excited are you as a senior to get your final semester underway?
Ooh, this is a weird question because it's like, Plymouth has definitely become a home for me. It's something every summer I look forward to running back up here. Can't wait for August to roll around. But it's like time, you know, starting to feel like maybe ready for the job world, the real world. But it's like, it's very bittersweet, and I think a lot of other seniors would agree with me. Like my friends and I were talking, we're all like excited but nervous and just really trying to make the most of our last semester.
For you, coming from New York City, what made you choose Plymouth State when you were looking at coming to college?
I just really wanted to get out of where I grew up and get out of my hometown, see something different. And I found this little gem in the mountains and just really wanted to be somewhere very starkly different. And I think I made the right decision when I did that.
Do you have a favorite class or favorite professor that you had over your time here at Plymouth State?
I honestly really love the whole art department. All the graphic design professors, we've just gotten really close over the last couple years, and I know I can go to them with anything, and they're very understanding and helpful, and I'm really grateful that our class sizes are small. That allows those relationships to grow.
We're just getting going here on PSU Live. When we come back, we'll be joined by our next guest. Don't go anywhere here on Facebook and YouTube. Okay, so we need to know who our next guests are. I don't know.
Andre, are you next?
Okay. Andre, have a seat.
So we're totally skipping.
Yeah, so I'll just go into this one. Andre, how do we pronounce your last name?
Breakthrough way in learning that
Malo? Malul. Juno. Okay.
That's what I thought.
All right. So for you, initial thoughts when you learned. So Malou, you're a senior, right?
junior.
Junior?
It starts with our core approach to learning. One of the first of its kind.
So as a junior, you're part of the...
We call it our integrated clusters approach. You choose your major, then engage in multiple disciplines to solve real-world challenges. Think of it as education without limits. Then imagine how clusters prepares you for the ever-changing world out there. Clusters gives you hands-on experience working at top companies and institutions. You'll be part of a progressive team, developing innovative solutions to real-world problems. Education is dynamic at Plymouth State. Our faculty believe in you because collaboration works both in the classroom and beyond. You see faces up here, not crowds. Set in the foothills of the White Mountains of New Hampshire, there's genuine magic here. It's the way a university should be. Living in a vibrant community with a huge heart. Some degree programs even offer a 4+1 accelerated track, which lets you complete your master's degree in just 1 year. We see you, the doer every day, the innovator, the tomorrow changer. Find your own path at Plymouth State University. See further up here.
Plymouth is a great place to work because of the people. I feel really supported by the people that I work for and work with.
There is a real sense of community here.
It's very family friendly, it's very student oriented. I love how much we love our students.
Get to interact with hundreds of students every day, some of the best and brightest in New England.
This has been a fantastic place to work, and I would love to continue teaching here.
It's one of the most beautiful places in the world, and you don't get quite an experience like this at other institutions.
Living at the foothills of the White Mountains has a wealth of opportunity at our fingertips.
Every day is a new challenge. It keeps it interesting.
Welcome back to PSU Live. We're joined by our next guest, and Andre Malou-Juno. And Andre, thank you for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
For you, you're part of the fraternities now. What was your initial thought when you heard that fraternities and sororities were returning to Plymouth State to be recognized?
So I was ecstatic. We haven't had sororities or fraternities for 23-ish years or so officially. So this is just huge news to me. Not only like active members, but alumni as well.
And how has your fraternity given back to Plymouth State and the community in the last semester since you've been recognized?
So every Thanksgiving, or right before Thanksgiving, we do what's called turkey baskets. And what we do is we usually feed between 150 to 200 families. It winds up being like 400 to 600 people. So our alumni come up with money for that, and then they help us with that side of things. And we pack everything. We use, what is the dining hall? Dining hall supplies us all the food. The alumni purchase all of that food, and then all the actives, we go and we pack all that food. And then a lot of our alumni will help us, like with cars delivering through like Plymouth, Ashland, Holderness, around the local area to families that are in need. So.
For you, what fraternity are you a part of? What's your role with them? And kind of as a follow-up, there's always kind of negative thoughts about sororities and fraternities, and really how can people beat that stigma now that fraternities and sororities are back in Plymouth State?
So I'm the president of Phi Beta Epsilon, and I think that all the fraternities and sororities on campus have worked really hard to like try and push to get us back on campus, because we try to do like a lot of good for the local community, offer like alumni down the line can give us jobs, they can talk to us, we have connections down the line for that, and it gives us a chance to really do something that if you don't like play sports, this is like one of the best ways you can feel like a brotherhood, feel like the togetherness you can't get anywhere else. So that's like a huge part of it, and being able to do the community service is also huge for us, so we'd like to take that back, for sure.
Give us the inside scoop. What is the best place to eat on and off campus, in your opinion?
So I think if you're on campus, you're going to want to go to the hub. They make your food for you fresh, like every time there. That's really nice. And off campus, I always like Downtown Pizza. I think they're pretty nice. And Thai Smile is also really good. So.
Andre, we appreciate your time and enjoy this spring semester.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
So next we have Adventure Ed major, Michelle Henry. How you doing today, Michelle?
Good,
Thanks
how
for
are
coming
you?
to talk with us.
Of course.
So outdoor activities are a big part of life here at Plymouth. What's your favorite?
Probably my favorite activity is between hiking and skiing. Right now being winter, and especially all the snow we just got, skiing has been absolutely fantastic. Some really great powder, and that's been awesome. Even like winter hiking has been really good. And being an Adventure Ed major, like I'm always going out hiking with friends and trying to like catch up and whatnot.
Looking at the Adventure Ed program, do you have a favorite class and why?
That's really hard. I love like a lot of the classes. The immersion semester is probably the best, the most fun, because we're outdoors, we're backpacking, we're spending 4 days outside, then 7, then 12, and just being outside in the woods, even though we are outside during like awful weather sometimes, it is awesome and really prepares you for the major.
So what is it that you enjoy most about working for admissions and the rec programs?
Admissions, I love working with people, I love meeting people, and like this school has really become like a home to me, so just being like here has been awesome, and like supporting telling everyone else why I love the school for admissions. And then for rec programs, I'm huge into working out, so being able to help people like work out and everything, and like helping them, teach them if they don't know what to do at the gym, or just like interacting with all the different people who come in and out of the gym.
Michelle, you're a student athlete here as well. You play on the women's soccer team. Talk us what it's like being a student athlete and having to balance your time out.
It's honestly the best thing I ever did. I played 3 sports in high school, and coming in here, playing soccer is the reason I did as well as I did, because I was able to like organize my time and whatnot, and that really helped me.
We understand that you're planning on studying abroad soon.
Yes.
What interests you in studying abroad, and kind of where are you planning on going for that?
So I'm going to Australia. I'm going to La Trobe University in Bendigo, which is like 2 hours from Melbourne. And I'm really excited because I'm going to be taking my teacher assistantship there. And it's very different than if I would do that here, because I'm going to get to basically work with students in middle school and like high school age and bring them actual backpacking trips.
Wonderful. Well, Michelle, thank you so much and enjoy the spring semester.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to be joined by a freshman here at Plymouth State University and a member of the men's basketball team in junior bowling. We'll wait for him to join us here on set, but for you, Julianne, I know it doesn't feel like spring, but are you excited to have everyone back on campus and see all of your friends?
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait for everybody to be back. Like, just even people walking through the hub, I see so many familiar faces, and it's like nice to just be back on campus and get my life going again, get my routine back with school.
Now, joined by Junior Bowling. Junior, thank you for being here.
Yeah, no problem.
For you, as a freshman, as a student athlete as well, talk us through the recruiting process and what you went through with head coach Andrew Novick to come to Plymouth State.
Last year, I dislocated my thumb, so I didn't play basketball all last year. So I wasn't really recruited, but I talked to him at the beginning of the year. So like I was basically with the team already. So like, yeah, I was basically with the team already, and I talked to him and said he wanted me to play. So in the beginning of the year, that's what we did. So yeah, but I didn't get much of the recruitment process, but I kind of got a little bit of it this year in the beginning.
So why did you choose Plymouth?
I chose Plymouth. I took a tour here last year in the summer. I just liked the environment, you know. I liked how it was close to home, so I can see my mom. I like they have a really good marketing program, which I'm really interested in. That's my major, so that's why I was like, all right, I got to do this. It's like I could have went anywhere else, but I wanted to make the best decision for me, and I felt like coming here and the marketing program would be best for me in my future.
Like we talked with Michelle, for you as a student athlete, talk to us about the whole process of what it's like balancing your time and really what you enjoy most about representing Plymouth State University when you play.
Balancing your time, it's a lot, you know. Sometimes like I have to wake up at 6 a.m. to go get a lift in before anything, before class, before anything. So I mean, it's tiring, but I mean, you just gotta choose just time management really. So your time management, like, are you gonna go do this? Or are you gonna take care of your work? Are you gonna go hang out with friends? Are you gonna take care of your work? You know what I mean? So that it's tiring, like I said, but just do it. And I like being on the team. You know, I like representing Plymouth State because it's like a nice place to represent. The teammates that I have are amazing. The coach is great, and like the students here are great. Great environment, great everything. I mean, it's pretty cold, which I really don't like, but I just put up with it, and yeah.
So what are your plans for the future as a marketing major?
My plans in the future as a marketing major is graduate in my 4 years. I'm not sure if I want to do grad school right now. I'm just trying to keep my grades up high. But if anything, just work for a big business, big company, and just make a lot of money and do big things. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us
All
today,
right.
Junior.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Best of luck the rest of the season as well.
Yeah, I'll see you at the games.
Absolutely. We're going to step aside real quick as we get set up for our next guest here on PSU Live on Facebook and YouTube.
This is Sarah. She's your typical Plymouth State student, and she's tired of the same old routine. Let's see if we can help. It's a hot day in September. Let's get Sarah down to the river. Our large variety of canoes, kayaks, and paddleboards will keep you high and dry, but no promises. Let's fast forward to October. Crisp bottom air, beautiful views. But where's Sarah now? Sarah's rock climbing, 15 minutes from campus at Rumney Rocks. But what about in February? Rock or ice, we've got you covered. Looks like Sarah has a busy weekend. PSU students, all we need is your signature. All of our gear is free for you to use. Stop by our offices or find us online at go.plymouth.edu/outdoor center. Plymouth State Outdoor Center. Adventure your way.
What's stopping you from going further in life, in your career? A graduate degree from Plymouth State can take your career even higher. You don't have to travel a long way to go far. Climbing the corporate ladder has changed. Many employers today expect to see an MBA on your resume, online or on campus. A Plymouth State MBA opens doors to companies here and around the world.
there's a path that takes you further in life. A breakthrough way in learning that prepares you for an ever-changing world. At Plymouth State, you'll find your way and learn more about yourself. It starts with our bold new approach to learning, one of the first of its kind at any university in the country. We call it our integrated clusters approach. You choose your major, then engage in multiple disciplines to solve real-world challenges. Think of it as education without limits. Then imagine how Clusters prepares you for the ever-changing world out there. Clusters gives you hands-on experience working at top companies and institutions. You'll be part of a progressive team, developing innovative solutions to real-world problems. Education is dynamic at Plymouth State. Our faculty believe in you because collaboration works both in the classroom and beyond. You see faces up here, not crowds. Set in the foothills of the White Mountains of New Hampshire, there's genuine magic here. It's the way a university should be. Living in a vibrant community with a huge heart. Some degree programs even offer a 4+1 accelerated track, which lets you complete your master's degree in just 1 year. We see you, the doer every day, the innovator, the tomorrow changer. Find your own path at Plymouth State University. See further up here.
Hello guys, we're back here on PSU Live on YouTube and Facebook, and we have the Director of Residential Life and Dining Services, Amanda Crazio. What are some of the improvements to Res Life over the last couple of years, and what are some of the upcoming improvements that you have planned?
Sure. Well, thank you for having me this morning, or this afternoon, I guess, to share some of the exciting things that we have coming up in Res Life and Dining. This is my 4th semester here at PSU, and they have all been pretty eventful and pretty exciting since my arrival. So since I've been here, we've made a lot of changes to our program, and both physically within our facilities and also programmatically. So through our facilities, I'm sure folks are familiar that Merrill Place, our multi-function residence hall and conference center, was built. That opened last fall. And that's great because it can really help boost our conference program, which then brings revenue back into our residential life program. So it's a multi-use space. And I know events and conferences are really making the most of that space in the summer to bring in some additional revenue. And our students that live over there seem to really enjoy it as well. And then this past year, we renovated Geneva Smith Hall, which had been, it was one of our more tired-looking buildings. I use tired and vintage quite a lot, talking about our residence halls. They need some love. So we're trying to attack them one at a time and really bring them up to a state-of-the-art facility. And I think if you talk to the folks that are living in Geneva right now, they're experiencing that. We took down some of those just dated features, added some more common space, both on the ground level and also up on the floors, to just more what students want, and made sure that they were involved in the process. Coming up, we're hoping to replace all of the carpet in Belknap Hall, potentially even over as soon as spring break. And then going from there, step by step, trying to just update all of the facilities. Programmatically, we launched our first year residential experience this fall with some mixed success. There were some pieces that worked really well as some challenges, but I think that overall we're heading in the right direction programmatically and providing an opportunity for our first year students to really experience that transition to PSU altogether. And that's right in line with best practices of a lot of the best institutions around the country. So, you know, I'm glad that PSU Res Life is moving in that direction. For next year, we're bringing on some additional opportunities for our returning students, looking at some substance-free areas, areas for quiet study, and some areas for our high-achieving academic students. You know, we've heard loud and clear that not all of our students are here just to party and make a lot of noise. So we want to make sure we have some space available for students that are looking for that true academic experience as we bring those opportunities into the residence hall. So a plug for an event coming up in March, our extravaganza is going to be on Sunday, March 3rd. So watch your PSU email for that. There'll be a lot of opportunities to take tours of our residence halls and apartment areas and really ask any questions you have about the returning student housing process.
On the dining sides of things, a lot of changes over the last year, but a lot of exciting changes coming up with this semester alone. Talk us through what's happening down at the Bank of New Hampshire Fieldhouse and some of the creative changes that we might see in the spring for dining services.
Thanks. I'm glad you asked about dining. It has been, again, an eventful semester as we welcome Chartwell's Higher Education to be our partner in dining. They're doing a great job over in Prospect Hall. While physically we're not noticing a lot of changes, I'm hearing good things from our students about the quality and variety of food, especially when it comes to vegan and vegetarian diets, expanded our salad bar options, and really just providing healthier, fresher, made-to-order food. And that's just going to continue as we look at some renovations over the summer. But yeah, down at Allwell, we are actually opened this morning, the Panther Caf, our newest dining option. So it's a place where students will be able to use meal swipes for breakfast or lunch, and also some retail options, focus on, I guess, more health-forward food, so more nutrient-dense. Oatmeals, yogurts, fresh fruits and vegetables, salads, wraps. As we understand, our athletes and health and human performance students that are down there maybe have more of an interest in that. We heard loud and clear that it was hard for students on that side of campus to make it back here for lunch or even to grab breakfast before their classes. So made a priority to create a space over there. Lucky enough that we were able to use an existing space. Hopefully we'll be able to expand. You know, we're still in day one, morning one over there, but we've got Cecile running the space down there. She's fantastic. And yeah, just can't say enough good things about the people that came to us from Chartwell's and also our staff that were able to stay on and continue with PSU dining.
All right, Amanda, one last question for you. What are some great things you like about working for Plymouth State?
While some students may argue that this isn't a great thing, I've been enjoying the ability to build and grow a residential life program that is, at some point, will be state of the art. We are building it based on best practices and really what our students need. There are some growing pains, of course. You know, families, alumni, faculty, staff, and students come to know what builds a program, but you know, progress takes time. I think we're seeing that campus-wide with the cluster model. There's some growing pains there, and that as residential life and dining try to align with that, we're seeing that, but I think we're moving it ahead in a good direction. I really enjoy working with our students here, and I'm sure that's cliche, but that's why I'm here doing what I do, why I went into this field to work with college students and help them to develop and grow here at PSU.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the spring semester.
Great. Thank you so much. Stay warm.
No, absolutely true. It's going to be joined by another fellow student here in Riley Drew in just a second. Let her join us here up on stage. Riley, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
For you, as a teaching major, looking at things, Plymouth State founded as a normal school back in 1871, not 1971. Good to have my notes correct. But it kind of builds off of one of the best teaching schools in the nation. What made you choose elementary education as a major, and why did you choose Plymouth State?
Yeah, so I've always wanted to work with kids. I've worked with them since I was 11, like babysitting, and then I started to get into like after-school programs when I was in middle school, like working with lower-age kids. And I've always just had such a passion for trying to make a difference in that age group. And then when I was applying to schools, I had been to campus before because my cousin went here, and figuring out that this school started as a teaching school definitely drove me to this decision to come here. And I knew it had one of the best teaching programs. Back home, my principal actually went here, and he was telling me that during interview processes for his job, as soon as people found out he went to Plymouth, it was an automatic bump up in a job search. So that definitely pushed me to come here.
So you're also a math minor. What made you tie that in with your education?
So I've always excelled in math, and that's always been one of my favorite subjects. And kids especially have this negative stigma around math, that it's too hard and that they can't do it. But I'm a huge advocate for everyone is capable of doing it, and something as difficult as math, as long as you find a way that works for you, you're going to be able to figure out the problem one way or another.
Looking at things, what's your favorite activity to do here on campus when you're not in class?
Yeah, so I'm involved in a lot on campus. I work for Res Life as a CA. I'm a tour guide. I have a leadership role in a couple other clubs on campus. But I think my favorite one is probably working for admissions, just because telling my story of why I came here can influence more students to kind of come here. And one thing we really push is just storytelling in general. So just telling them about the different things I'm involved with, different clubs. I'm on the Ultimate Frisbee team, so trying to encourage them to join that, and just really pushing them to pursue what they're passionate about. And I think that's probably my favorite part about getting involved on campus.
So what are your plans for when you graduate?
So I want to teach in New Hampshire or in Mass. Back home, I'm a couple minutes from the border of Mass. So I either want to teach upper elementary or middle school math, but ultimate end goal is to become a principal or vice principal for a middle school. I want more of a administrative role. Being on campus, I have a lot of leadership roles, so I kind of want to continue that once I get into the teaching field, and just trying to make classroom settings and schools in general just the best it can be for the students.
Wonderful.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
And enjoy the spring semester.
Thank you as well.
Next, be joined by Alexis Johnson, another fellow student.
Hello, how are you doing today, Alexis?
I'm good, how are you?
Good. So what do you enjoy most about the education program here at Plymouth?
My favorite thing about the education program, it's so personal and you get to know all your professors really, really well, which is awesome. I know all of the professors in the education department, which is kind of uncommon with a lot of the majors, so it's nice that we're all close-knit and we're like all together all the time.
For you, you studied abroad in England.
Yes.
Talk us through what the process was to study abroad and get that approved, and also what you enjoyed most about being in England with that program.
There was a lot going into it. I had decided the semester before that I was going in, so it was a lot of last-minute stuff. But down in the study away program, Dan, he was really helpful. He got all of our stuff through really fast. I went with a friend, so we did it all together, which is really nice. But once you got over there, everyone was so awesome. They were hands-on, they were helping you with everything that you needed help with. The classes were all set up when we got over there, so we didn't have anything to worry about. It all got done here. And everything transferred back, so it was really, really great.
So you're also minoring in pre-law. What made you decide to do that?
I have always wanted to do something with law, but I was a little scared to do it because I was so far into my college career that I was like, I don't know if I can do this right now. Last semester I had decided I'm just going to do it, and whatever happens, happens. And I'm in it now, and it's 3 of my classes were today, and they've been amazing, so I love it so far. I'm more focused in education law than anything.
We always hear from students how great the professors are, how great the classes are, but for you, what has been your favorite class and why?
That's really hard because a lot of my education classes, they're amazing, but now that I'm opening up to a whole different department, I mean, the communications classes that I'm taking right now they're amazing. I mean, the professors are really personable. They're really able to connect with you on a level that you could connect with almost as a friend, and that's awesome.
Well, Alexis, we thank you for joining us here on PSU Live, and best of luck in the spring semester.
Thank you so much.
We're going to step aside one more time, take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with our last couple of guests and get set for the wrap-up of the show and a start of a great spring semester here at PSU.
What's stopping you from going further in life, in your career? A graduate degree from Plymouth State can take your career even higher. You don't have to travel a long way to go far.
Plymouth is a great place to work because of the people. I feel really supported by the people that I work for and work with.
There is a real sense of community here.
It's very family friendly, it's very student oriented. I love how much we love our students.
Get to interact with hundreds of students every day, some of the best and brightest in New England.
This has been a fantastic place to work, and I would love to continue teaching here.
It's one of the most beautiful places in the world, and you don't get quite an experience like this at other institutions.
Living at the foothills of the White Mountains has a wealth of opportunity at our fingertips.
Every day is a new challenge. It keeps it interesting.
At Plymouth State, you can choose a bold new way of learning. Our degree programs let you work across disciplines to take on an ever-changing employment landscape. Plymouth State University. See further up here.
This is Sarah. She's your typical Plymouth State student, and she's tired of the same old routine. Let's see if we can help. It's a hot day in September. Let's get Sarah down to the river. Our large variety of canoes, kayaks, and paddleboards will keep you high and dry, but no promises. Let's fast forward to October. Crisp autumn air, beautiful views. But where's Sarah now? Sarah's rock climbing, 15 minutes from campus at Rumney Rocks. But what about in February? Rock or ice, we've got you covered. Looks like Sarah has a busy weekend. PSU students, all we need is your signature. All of our gear is free for you to use. Stop by our offices or find us online at go.plymouth.edu/outdoor center. Plymouth State Outdoor Center. Adventure your way.
Climbing the corporate ladder has changed. Many employers today expect to see an MBA on your resume, online or on campus. A Plymouth State MBA opens doors to companies here and around the world.
What's up, guys? We're back on PSU Live, and we have Ryan Slasky here with us. So Ryan is a marketing student, so what is the marketing program like? What are your favorite activities within the marketing program that we have?
So one thing that I really like about the marketing program here at Plymouth State is that through many of my classes, I've been able to work with local businesses down the road on Main Street, which is really exciting because it's an opportunity for me to actually work with a real business, not just in class activities. So I'm able to basically use all the knowledge that I've gained in class and use what I've learned and help out a company or like a local business with that.
We really appreciate you spending your time here this afternoon. The first day of classes coming back.
Thank you for having
me.
me.
For you, you're part of the Guerrilla Marketing campaign here at Plymouth State. Talk to us really what that's about if people don't understand and what you guys do at the ski mountains in the area.
Sure, so basically it's a bunch of students from Plymouth State, skiers and riders that go to local resorts such as Waterville Valley and Loon Mountain. And basically what we're doing there is we talk to prospective students, parents, and also alumni about the location of Plymouth State, all of that it offers, and its existence, because there are a lot of people, surprisingly enough, that drive right past Plymouth State on their way to the mountain, and they have no idea that we exist. So it's really cool to talk to people and engage with them and talk to them about all the opportunities that Plymouth beholds, and also like the engagement that we get from the students too, their interests. And also there's a base camp that we had last year. This is the first, or this past winter was the first season of us doing this. And it went pretty well, but the base camp should probably be moved to Waterville itself, Waterville Valley, where students can go and they can apply actually on site to see whether or not they would be able to go to Plymouth State, and they can also get some free tickets.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's a pretty good gig.
So what's your favorite hangout place on campus?
I think one of my favorite hangout places is the library or the hub, just because that I find myself being most productive in both those places, and if I'm hungry or thirsty, it's a pretty close walk.
For you, you're part of the MCCS department, Marketing, Communication, Creative Services. what do you plan to use with the knowledge that you've learned hands-on there with your degree moving forward in your professional career?
So there's a lot of things that I learned about the internship, which I'm very grateful for. Thank you very much, Marlon, for hiring me to be a part of the team. But it's taught me a lot. I was able to work with like social media and organized photographs and all that. I definitely did like the social media aspect of it, so maybe something relative to that. And my interest in the social media actually got me to take a graphic design course this semester. So hopefully that'll help me better my what do you want to call it? Just better my skills for the real world. So hopefully I'll be able to now incorporate graphic design skills or apply those to a real world job. I'm not sure where yet. Hopefully moving out west. Plymouth State has definitely made me realize that I love the snow and I want to stay there.
Well, keep doing great work here for Plymouth State University, and best of luck this semester, and enjoy your time up in the mountain.
Thank you both very much.
Ryan joining us here. We're going to get ready for our final guest of the afternoon here on PSU Live, and another student athlete here at Plymouth State University, another member of the MCCS department, and Ben Platt.
How you guys doing?
Thank you for being here.
No problem.
I know you're just coming out of class, so kind of let you kind of settle in for a second. But for you, what have you enjoyed most since transferring to Plymouth State University?
Yeah, so I really enjoyed the classes, my professors. I feel like with Plymouth, like smaller class sizes, I get to know my teachers more. I know like the students in my classes. Outside of classes, I have a lot of friends that I've met and just like that stuff.
So you've been working for the MCCS department. How has that helped you with your studies in marketing?
Yeah, so going there, I thought like marketing is this, but when actually working there, you do a lot of different roles, you wear a lot of different hats, and every day is a new endeavor. You go in, you work hard. And I think I'm going to bring that into my studies, where I worked really hard for the few weeks that I was working, and after in the summer I'm doing a internship with MCCS as well. So I'm just excited for that, and excited to continue school and then afterwards find a job in the field. So
you're a student athlete as well, a cross-country runner, part of the indoor and outdoor track and field teams here at Plymouth State University. Why did you choose to transfer into Plymouth State to fulfill that side of your athletic career? And talk to us about the challenges of being a student and a student athlete.
Yeah, so when I was looking for colleges, I wanted a school that had business classes, and then also running was kind of like another aspect. The team is a few years new, but I really like Coach Osler. He was very welcoming, and the team has done a lot of great success over the years. There's an All-American on the team. There's people that have run really fast times, and I thought it'd be great to come and be a part of that. So I think another part where you were saying about being a student athlete, I think it's helped me with going to practice every day, but also doing schoolwork. It's kind of prepares you for the real world, where you have to get stuff done, and then there's certain deadlines, and it's been good. It's been a lot of work, but I'm enjoying it.
So in general, what do you enjoy most about being a student athlete? Like not necessarily just with track, but like we were just talking about like work-life balance. Has that been difficult for you in the last semester? Or?
Yeah, it was difficult. It took a few weeks to get used to. But I think as a team, we came together, and like one day a week we'd meet up, do homework for like a 90-minute block. I also enjoy like talking to other athletes, and I kind of understand like where they're coming from with their practices and games and all of the homework they have to put in. But yeah, I really enjoy being a student athlete and continuing to work hard. So
Ben, we appreciate your time here today. Best of luck the rest of the season, and also best of luck here in the spring semester.
Sweet, thank you.
Thank you, Ben, so much. That's going to do it for us here on PSU Live. We thank you for joining us inside the hub here on the campus of Plymouth State University. We'll see you next time. I'm Dan Salzer.
I'm Julianne Batista.
Have a wonderful spring semester.